Well, it's not here. President Biden has, for all intents and purposes, been Mr. Do Nothing, pretty much. He came in and you're right. I think part of it was, I don't think anyone got behind Joe Biden. Very few people were like, yes, Joe Biden is my charismatic leader. He wasn't Barack Obama. He didn't bring something new to the table like Donald Trump.
He wasn't Trump.
Yeah. And so, he wasn't Trump. And so the only message he really had was, I'm going to unite the country. I'm going to be the opposite of Trump in that I'm going to, I'm going to rule with love. I'm going to, there's going to be unicorns and rainbows in Washington. It's going to be beautiful. Of course, that hasn't happened.
It's better than the seas not rising anymore. I like it better than that.
On the Western Journal website today, I believe today actually it came out, an op-ed entitled, "As America is more divided than ever, we're still waiting on Biden to deliver his, quote, magical unity." Fantastic headline. Excellent story. I'm actually kind of going to probably...
Did you write the headline for it?
No, I didn't write the headline. I didn't write the headline, I swear. No, it was really, really well crafted. And the piece is really well crafted. I would recommend everyone at home actually go and give that a read. I'm about to disagree with it, but it is worth a read. My question, however, is really whether or not, particularly with that first part of the headline, is America... This contention gets made every couple of years. We're more divided than ever. And of course, then they do, the Gallup polling and the data, and they're like, well, we're about as divided as we were during the Civil War. And it's just, these metrics are very strange, first of all, but I don't want to get into the math behind it. What I really want to ask is, are we really more divided than ever? We brought this up before the show. Historically, at the nation's founding, right after the founding, the way the founding fathers jockeyed for authority and who was going to lead the country once the country was formed. One of my favorite things to bring up when people say, politics before Donald Trump, it was classy, it was loving, it was real. And John Adams and Thomas Jefferson were Thomas Jefferson was throwing you're a hermaphroditic little androgynous bug at John Adams in the election cycle. It's always been dirty. So I really want to know, are we really more divided than ever?
The trans agenda existed even then. My gosh.
Are we? I don't think we are.
As our representative of the Asian community.
Here we go.
What do you think?
As far as just the general division, I want to say, I guess the optimist in me would like to think that we are not more divided than we've ever been, but it feels that way because we've never been more connected than we've ever been. So all it takes is, if there are 10 people in the world who are genuine, pro-Nazi, neo-Nazis, if those 10 people go on social media and just blast their rhetoric out, it's going to feel so much bigger than the actual, there are these 10 crazy guys in the middle of nowhere. Let's ignore, but we can't because of that connectivity. I guess that's my answer is, not having anything to do with Biden, but just in general, I actually do think we are not nearly as divided as we used to be. And I'm going to actually tie this back real quick. I actually think that's because of Trump. Because I think when it comes
bold
to
statements getting made.
Yes, I know.
Statements,
it is a bold statement
everywhere.
I think you can back it up.
No, so the idea with Trump is that he just didn't care about that political correctness, and I think people genuinely appreciate not feeling like you're walking on eggshells around them. I think that's just general human emotion, as opposed to when you look at the left, Biden, Democrats. They don't want it, they want everything to be covered in eggshells, and just that sort of that ability, whether it's a little brash or, this is going to sound so negative, but, somewhat kind of uncouth the way Trump used to do things. At least there was a certain level of autonomy and respect he would give another individual.
Hey, we Northeasterners, we tell it how it is. That's just the way that it is.
The word vulgar essentially means just really commonplace.
Yes.
And it's remarkable that they never actually said that about Trump. It wasn't a commonly used word, but it's one that actually could have been applied to him in a legitimate, it sounds like a very negative word, but he talked to people in a very common parlance.
Yep.
They understood. He did all of this politispeak where you get up there and you can tell with him when the politician when he's at the podium and the lights turn on and the voice changes and just kind of the mannerisms change and everything. I don't know what's there. It's not the person who inhabits that body. It's something else. Trump, I mean, clearly he was the same with the lights on and the lights off.